Welcome to The Real News. I'm Eddie Conway, and we're in Oakland, California at the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party reunion. And we're looking at and talking to the Polynesian Black Panthers who organized following the example of the Black Panther Party and its philosophy.
It actually was okay to be Samoan. It was okay to actually stand up and actually say no. It was actually, it's okay to not have to always smile and bow my head. It was okay to get up and actually stand up and fight to make sure that actually what you knew was right would actually be heard.
You want to tell us a little bit about the Polynesian Panthers and the work that you're doing? I understood your brother up there said that you were honored for doing some of the work around women and girls' issues around violence. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So at the moment, the commendation that he's talking about is I've got a Queen's Service Order from the government that recognises my work around ending violence against women and girls. Colonisation has played a huge part in actually how women are treated. And within our own communities, raising those as issues and being able to challenge them within our own, and then into the wider communities. But Polynesian Panthers actually for me was an encouragement. It encouraged me to actually be doing what I'm doing, being proud to be Samoan, standing up for the rights of young Pacific and Māori people in Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Yeah, well, why did you travel thousands of miles to come to the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, good question and easy question, because I needed to say thank you for inspiration, for in times for leadership, and also giving that hope and that, and by others' experiences of sufferance, which may have been jail, and we've lost people here defending rights, for standing up for things. It just gave us the ability to say, if any other time to come to acknowledge that and give thanks, this is the time to do it.
During the heyday of the Black Panther Party, which is probably considered from 68 to 70, because even though the Black Panther Party started in 66, it took a couple of years for it to catch the imagination of people in the world. During those years of 68 to 70, I think the Black Panther Party spread around the world to various different cultures and various different people. It spread to Israel because they looked at the example that the Black Panther Party was setting and decided that they needed to address their issues. It spread into Africa, into Algeria, it spread into Europe, it spread into the Caribbean. So the Polynesians who was in New Zealand and Australia that was organizing around their conditions, being an oppressed people, and an exploited people, looked at the example of the Black Panther Party and decided that they would use the philosophy, the ideology, the 10-point platform and program, and to further their struggle in terms of self-determination and human rights. Obviously, you've been a Polynesian Panther for a long, long time. How long have you been doing this, and why did you start?
I've been doing this for at least 45 years now, and I started because I wanted to help my people. Simple as that.
The government was confiscating land off Māori people, passing laws where Māori people couldn't build on their own land, and therefore it became vacant, therefore it became useless, not used. So they claimed it. And under various war war acts, they wanted to claim it for military purposes and that.
And so they sent people to Oakland, to the national headquarters, and they learned. And in turn, we sent people out there to help train and organize and teach them the critical things about the party that we thought they could apply to their society.
We look at in terms of education, health, accommodation. All these things are community concerns or community ideals that need to be upheld, and I believe if that comes under the label of socialism, yes, we are very socialistic in that sort of way, but we also have an understanding of there is a sacredness that goes to spirituality that is part of our people that we understand too as well.
They are comrades, and and that's the relationship, is that we are comrades. And you can see some similarities in regards to the repression that they're confronted with in their country is the same as the repression we were confronted with in our country. And some of the same issues, the Pacific Islanders, the highest rate of those incarcerated, the highest rate of those with unemployment, the highest rate of those with health problems, health issues. So there's no difference in the context of the ongoing struggles and challenges that we're both confronted with.
That Black Lives Matter, and it has to be something. And my brother spoke to me about the reasons why we're coming here and what we need to do, but the other reasons why we need to come here is to show our love and solidarity to our people here. You are our people, and you matter to us. Indigenous peoples are worth it. Everything, it all just comes back to a relationship to life, to love, all these things that I think they try and distract us from so they can have power over us.
The issues are the same. Doesn't matter whether we're in Aotearoa, New Zealand, or whether you're in America, whether you're in the UK. I spent some time in the UK. It's the same for black people. Racism exists in the same way. The way we get treated by the state is the same. It's no different. So standing up for rights, whether they be in Dakota, whether they be in New Zealand, whether they be here in America or in the UK, means it's a positive thing for us. The struggle is the struggle. It doesn't matter where we are.
45 years later, they are still in the midst of organizing, and there are several generations now involved. Like the initial organizers are grandparents, their children are parents, and then their children's children, grandchildren are also involved in organizing. So it's been one of the most successful Black Panther Party international efforts.
We have an international perspective because we're Samoans that live in Aotearoa, New Zealand. It gives us an international perspective. What happens in the rest of the Pacific is really important. Actually, what happens anywhere in the world where it connects to the Pacific Ocean has an interest for us because whilst there's like nuclear testing in the Pacific, what's happening to our people? Lots of Samoans here in America. They're married intermarried with other nations, and so we have an interest in actually what happens to our people.
Already I hear that the US ships, naval ships, are now heading towards Auckland, being allowed by the New Zealand government to go into New Zealand territorial waters. It's been banned for at least 37 years. Since the anti-nuclear stance that New Zealand took with its government, Labour government at the time. The government now is allowing this to happen again. So I guess, like you heard on the panel discussion there today, some of us will be out on the waters protesting about, the nuclear ships being allowed to come back in. And that's a reflection on on the New Zealand government as well,
So we will be continuing to collaborate. We can't help it, and it has to be that way. And we have a younger generation coming up that and what are you, Generation X or Generation Z? Who will carry on and will always be there to guide them because we can't give it up until we get our freedom in our own country. Kia ora.
Thank you for joining me at The Real News.